Felt like Isaac to me. Choose prediction. Doubters get paid out, and we run it back. Pardon me. At the drive-in rocks so hard. I think once a week about when Jonah Hill tries to get Elizabeth Moss to go to Mars Volta concert in the 2011 movie Get Him to the Greek, and he puts on the Loused in the Comatorium and goes. And then lately, I've been thinking, holy cow, I wonder how Jonah Hill felt on set spending all day with Elizabeth Moss and Russell Brand. That dude deserves a medal just for not walking off the damn set. 10 years ago, I was like, that looked like it was a fun movie to make. Now I'm like, dude, can somebody check in on Jonah Hill, make sure he's okay? You got to deal with Elizabeth Moss talking about her thetans all day, and then Russell Brand's talking about how, like, you know, Richard Nixon screwed up monetary policy forever by taking America off the gold standard, and Stephen Harper doesn't want you to be able to own Bitcoin in your own custodial wallets. He must have gone crazy, dude. Okay, sorry, we're restarting here. What's your mental going into this run? Very strong. Very strong today. It's been a long work week. But you know what? I get strengthened by the length of the work week. Can you read the seed like Dan for old time's sake? No, I don't think I will. Why not? What's your thoughts on the 4-day work week? I mean, I've said it before. People are going to accuse me of just farming base. I don't have a ton of, you know, real life work experience. But when I worked in an office, there was approximately 1.25 days of work accomplished by the average employee over the course of a 5-day work week. And the company was still eating good. So if that's the case, why did they have to be there Monday to Friday when it seems like they would have been just fine being there, like, you know, Monday to Thursday, and they could have accomplished the same amount of stuff but have been like happier in the process? And if anything, they probably the company would have made more money because on that one extra day a week they could have turned the office into like an Airbnb or something. So true. But it was also like, I don't know, and this is not, I'm not saying this in support of the 5-day work week. I feel like at the office I worked at, like, there was like 25% of your day was like routine labor that had to be done. And then 75% was just like having to be by your desk near your phone and your Outlook account just in case like a fire started somewhere. And then you're like, whoa, I'm glad I'm here because I got a call from this person and I need to handle this, right? Then you handle it in like 20 minutes and then you're like, okay, back to waiting. Burp, 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 burp. Can confirm. That's what I'm doing right now. What do you... This is an honest question and it's from a good place. It's not from a bad place. What the hell do you do in IT if nobody has forgotten their password? Like, do you just chill, like, all day? I know I'm not, it's not negative. You need to be there. But there's, like, because if something goes down with the computers, it's over. But, like, if nothing goes down with the computers... You're just hanging out, right? It's not like there's any routine... Well, I shouldn't say that. There's probably routine stuff you can do in IT. But it's not like you can be like, oh, now that, like, the tech support stuff is done, I'm going to get started on, like, you know, this stuff. Like, I'm going to fix some problems that haven't even come up yet. I don't know. Maybe that is what you do now that I think about it. But I've gained more respect for IT as my parents have gotten older. My mom is still pretty good with tech. But she did... And this could happen to anybody. But she did text me yesterday instead of my dad. which is like the first thing you got to do when you send a text message. You got to check that recipient, man. Well, no, it's not Monka S. Literally, what she texted me is good. We're just hanging out. I brought my own dinner, and Ryan is cooking for his family. And I was like, you know what, Mom? Based. That was exactly what I was doing in that moment when the text was sent. But we've been trying to, like, my dad was here, but then he went home because he had to go back to work like a couple weeks ago. We've been trying to Zoom with my dad, and he just can't do it, man. My mom was trying to walk him through it, and it's just like, it can't be done. And he's only in his mid-50s, right? And as he tells me every time when he was here, he actually won the computer award at his high school in like the I guess it would be like the early 1980s. Back when to use a computer, you actually had to be like an insane genius. Like he was doing the punch cards and stuff. I already took damage here, huh? So I'm like, man, if they just if they could release like a version of Zoom where you use punch cards to log in, like he'd be fine. But I was dying when my mom was trying to explain with him, like on the phone, how to use Zoom, and she was like, "You just literally just sign up for a Zoom account with your Yahoo address." And I was like, "Yahoo? You guys are still using Yahoo Mail in 2022? That's madness." My dad uses Yahoo too? Dude, I'm being 100% genuine with you. I think that's okay. I think Yahoo is my mom's homepage. I didn't even know Yahoo still existed. But I think she gets a lot of her news from Yahoo. From Yahoo! AOL's still around. Oh, I thought Yahoo was dead though. Like I thought Marissa Mayer was brought in as like the CEO to go down with the ship to wave the white flag and surrender. Yahoo still has 2.3 billion monthly visitors. So it's literally like, I mean, you know what that is. That's 70 million people in their 50s and older booting up Microsoft Edge once a day. It is okay. Yahoo Finance, sure. I do see people using Yahoo Finance. Personally, I've pivoted to Google Finance because it's Yahoo Finance, but minus the ability to leave comments on stocks, which is a huge upgrade. A snack. Okay. Okay, and fantasy sports, sure. All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you the fantasy sports. I can't hate on Yahoo News. Please recall, Yahoo News did give me an article about that time when someone asked, hey, how do you know when to stop washing your face and switch to the shampoo? And then I made wrinkles on my forehead, and I said, where the wrinkles stop, that's where you'd recognize that your scalp begins and your face ends. What are you doing? You don't understand Isaac if you don't think this is the way to play. That's probably going to be, I'm going to say that's Sacred Heart right there. %100 chance for 7 troll bombs. Okay. 100% chance to spawn Uriel. Now his ass is dead. And we're alive. Okay. Muriel. Julia Gulia. But now look at that. Sure, we traded 9 lives, but now we have 42 cents. It's your certified Isaac moment. You traded 9 lives for 42 cents in holy water. I refuse to use any of my money right here. No, we have to use it. Take them both. See what you get. This could be huge, man. This is insane. That's an incredible item. Sharp key, not so much. Tarot cloth, another unbelievably insane item. And you all laughed at me for not using the Hierophant. Well, nobody's laughing now. I don't have any more pedestals to reroll, but that's still, I mean, that was still very sick. I think that turned out very well. 8 minutes on the first 2 floors? Tinted rocks, whatever. I don't even care about tinted. Look, I don't even care about the sun card. Just send it, man. Whatever. Don't you hate when you trust people and they stab you in the back again and again? Come on. Why didn't Tarot Cloth give 4 Spirit Hearts? Oh, because it was too good, I think. People were having too much fun, so they... Alright, what happened to my Spirit Hearts, man? Too many people were excited that the item was good and helps you win, so they nerfed it. We can't have that on our watch. I'm not dying. I just need to get like a single damage upgrade. Isaac 2022, get a damage upgrade. 2022 challenge. Difficulty degree impossible. This is why I got 42 cents earlier. So I could, you know, have a little bit of space to buy enough Spirit Hearts to lose on the 8th floor instead of the 6th floor. Okay, it's actually so valuable. Although we have a deal with the devil coming up now that I think about it. So, you know, perhaps for now, I'd actually consider buying the coupon. Many of the best CEOs issue coupons. We also get 1 devil deal item for free. Get torched. I guess that shouldn't have assumed that was going to be a secret room. Elizabeth Holmes back from prison to play Isaac. Excuse me, excuse me. She hasn't been sentenced yet. I mean, she was found guilty, yeah, but like, she wasn't sentenced yet. Maybe the judge will sentence her to being a girl boss and give her her company back. And she'll... And then you'll all be sorry for all the shit you talked. About how she didn't have like a working product and she lied to all those people or whatever. It's kind of a bad look, Sonny. I don't want to say it, Sonny, but it's kind of a bad look. Then the whole universe will be her slave. I mean, employee. Some Dragon Slayer doppelganger quotes don't work. I don't want that garbage. I do want this garbage. I want both of these garbages. What are you? Eye of Belial. Okay, I love it. Best part about this, we still have a deal with the Angel Chance for the future. But for the first time in Isaac history, we actually also have some damage. Things that you didn't think would be possible, but are. The thing that should not be, but is. Smart plays. I've actually, you wouldn't believe this, but I've gotten smarter recently. I'm out of here. I'm insulted. I'm out of here. I have. I don't know when it happened, but I think it was that second Shotgun King stream. I was just like, why am I smart now? Something happened, man. There was like a state change. I don't know if it's because I've been eating more carbohydrates lately or something. I feel like my brain is like fully juiced. Like fully juiced. No. It's the Dude, you're right. It's probably the orzo. Absolutely. It's all the orzo I've been eating. I mean, I've kicked it in the next level domestically. I made a homemade Thai-style peanut sauce for my baby last night. Because I've been trying to get her to eat more meats. Not as like a, you know, like a ethical choice. Like I want her to grow up to be like carnivorous, but because it's, you know, packed with nutrients that when you're a baby in particular, it's a very easy way to get them when the rest of your diet is like mangoes and pasta. Hold on, what is this? The moon. I like it. I like it. Where's the Antarctica card? But so I was like, she doesn't like to eat the chicken that I make her, but what she loves peanut butter. She's been eating like peanut butter sandwiches for dinner. So what if I made her like a homemade Thai peanut sauce and she could have like a chicken satay style dinner? She loved the peanut sauce. She would pick up a piece of chicken, dip it in the peanut sauce, and then just lick off the peanut sauce and then dip the same piece of chicken back in the sauce. She ate all the sauce and none of the chicken, which is not good because I was flattered, but at the same time, the peanut sauce literally was like peanut butter, honey, rice vinegar, soy sauce. Like, that's pretty much it. I think I'm a little bit of water. But, like, that's not, like, I'm glad she was eating it, and the peanut butter, sure, we'll take. The peanut butter is, like, good enough for her that I don't feel bad about it, but at the same time, I was like, I should go re-roll the other item that's back in there. Anyway, we're still working on it. But, I mean, honestly, she has, like, a big pasta for lunch every day. Rotini, ground beef, broccoli, carrots, red onions, red pepper, tomato sauce. If she wants a peanut butter sandwich for dinner every night, nothing wrong with that, man. I feel like that's a decent macronutrient breakdown for a baby. This baby's eating better than I do. I don't want to make you feel bad. Most babies probably eat better than most people in chat. Most babies, I would say, eat better than, like, the average 22-year-old. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not trying to insult the 22-year-old viewers, but, like, you know, it's because they have someone else handling their meals for them, you know? If you have somebody else handling your meals, weirdly enough, they're going to have your best interest in mind because they don't care that much about, like, it being the tastiest snack you've ever eaten. They would rather just feed you some fuel that, like, keeps you alive and helps you thrive, right? If you feed yourself, you're gonna be like, ice cream for dinner? I had it last night, but you know what? I can take it. Golden bombs. I love a golden bomb. Call that self-care. She has a big booty, so we call her Big Booty. Huge. Dude, we're winning this run. This is not even close. You think chat handles their meals? Yes. My perception of my chat, and it, you know, it takes a village to raise a chatter. My perception of my chat is, that's insane, is that they are predominantly not Uber Eats for dinner every night. Instead, they're really aggressive about asking me why I simply don't meal prep. They're like the opposite. Like, they're not like r/collapse. They're like r/frugal. Like, rather than be like, I'm lazy tonight and the world's gonna end at some point anyway, so I'm just gonna eat Uber Eats. Instead, they're like, oh, really? You bought canned beans? That's cool. I guess it's nice to be rich. I buy dried beans. I fly to Costa Rica once every 2 years and buy 100 kilos of dried black beans, and then I fly them back. And sure, it's expensive originally, but after 18 months, my per meal cost comes down to 71 cents per meal, and I only have to eat one bowl a day to hit 1900 kilocalories. Like, that's my chat, and I'm okay with that. I eat nothing but beans? Nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, as I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure you eat something but beans. Isn't like beans and rice gives you all 20 of the essential amino acids? Dude, my mom made some dal, you know, like a lentil soup. I've been eating that for lunch like the past 4 days. It's one of the best. I've eaten dal before, but this particular dal, it's one of the best soups I've ever eaten in my entire life. It's crazy. It goes so hard. And then I was like, what's the recipe? She was like, it's literally just lentils, coconut milk, onions, and spices. I was like, holy cow, man. That's all it takes. Vegan moms pop off. My mom, she's so, like, health pilled. I was gonna say right now, but I think this is, like, this is just permanent. Every time, I feel bad because, like, I could tell that she knows that, like, I'm not gonna say that I'm sick of it, but, like, my life is, like, domestically packed to the brim right now. Like, I'm really busy, and a lot of that stuff is, like, household maintenance, cooking, cleaning, chores, etc., etc. And I'll, like, make something sometimes, and she's like, you know, this company makes a really good, like, vegan chicken breast. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to eat vegan chicken breast. I got so much shit on my plate right now. I gotta just get the... We had a barbecue for Memorial Day, and, like... Oh, not Memorial Day, sorry, Victoria Day. Bless her heart. She bought Dr. Prager quinoa and lentil bean burgers. And then I cooked them on the grill, but they're, like, not... Like, they're not burgers, right? Like, they're grains. So I cooked like one side, then when I flipped it, the whole patty fell apart and just turned into, like, you know, lentils, basically. But it's like just lentils with grill marks on them. And then, so I took it off the grill and it looked like fucking garbage. And then she was like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm like, Mom, come on, next time... We don't need to do the theater that, like, we're grilling and, like, you have to be a part of. I know you'd rather just be having, like, a salad right now with a scooped out avocado on top of it. Like, I'm just, I've said before, I'm very open to vegetarianism. I was a vegetarian for like 6 months. Malf will certify that, by the way. And the only reason I stopped is because I moved to Korea, and I was like, I'm going to have a hard enough time adjusting to this as is, as like a 21-year-old guy who doesn't speak the language. Let's not make it even harder on myself by being like, hey, what's Korean for do you have anything that doesn't contain eggs on this menu? Hey, Korean barbecue restaurant, can I get like 6 whole onions, please? I do kind of like the Soul of Azazel, but I do kind of hate both of these items. Either way, like, I'm open to vegetarianism, and would not be surprised if I moved towards that later in life. But veganism, I don't think I could do just because, like, I don't know. I mean, I could do it and survive. It seems like more inconvenience than I'm willing to put up with. I could give up any food and be okay with that, but just to have to modify every recipe to fit the conditions, I don't think it's in me. Vegetarianism, no problem though. I've already done it even when I was a pickier eater. Like, no eggs is an ingredient in something. That's tough for me. I don't really like eggs, but as an ingredient, it's in so many things. No dairy. I mean, I'm pretty dairy pilled, I gotta be honest. No honey? I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's tough. My mom's also on like the no oils now too. So she's been telling me like, you know, instead of using like olive oil to cook, you can just throw a little bit of water in the pan and you'll get enough like you get enough like browning on the food after just a little longer. And I'm like, Mom, this is she's like retired, so she has time, and I have to like politely sort of poke and be like, I'm really busy. I don't have time in my life to completely change my eating habits, right? Like I'm just clinging on for dear life. She doesn't hate flavors. She's a good cook. Like, genuinely. I told you that doll is incredible. How's your sloppy steak? Excuse me, that's my mother, Austin! Slop 'em up. I guess it is kind of a sloppy steak, now that I think about it. No, well, I believe that probably the sloppy steaks were originally cooked in some kind of fat. And then later... later, at some point, they were slopped up after the fact. Okay, Daddy Longlegs, very takeable. Is this what... Where's my damage upgrades? I've gotten 25 deals with the devil. Why is my fire rate 3.45 and my damage is 5.86? Give me more, please. You got the Pact? That's one damage upgrade. It was like 7 floors ago. And the Pentagram. Okay, there's 2 damage upgrades over the course of a whole run. What happened, man? Isaac community in 2022 be like, no, the items are balanced. You just have to play the game one specific way. Never take devil deals, only take angel deals, and to hold on to all items that can reroll at all times. Okay, that's pretty good, though. Yeah, what's the problem? I don't know. Like, I feel like you should have fun. You're crushing these floors? What are you talking about? I'm scraping by, man. I only got 4.5 HP, too. It's actually better now than it was in Afterbirth Plus. Yeah, but in Afterbirth Plus, I was in the damn hyperbolic time chamber. I was a different man. I had other stuff going on in my life. That was when I should have switched to having no seed oils in my diet, if that's something I wanted to do. Now I'm like, oh, I'm so fucked up. I'm gonna abuse my body. Sure, put a couple teaspoons of olive oil in the pan before we throw in the meat. I'm so fucked up. She was also telling now this is, I want to be clear, this is not somebody that she actually takes nutritional advice from. Is somebody that she does not take nutritional advice from, but is aware of their existence. I guess the overall point for this is that you thought radicalization on YouTube like only happens in politics, but it actually happens in like everything, including like workouts, nutrition. Like instead of you go on YouTube and you're like, I'm gonna learn a nice 15-minute stretching routine, and then like 6 months later you're like, I would never do this exercise. You want your shoulders to be asymmetrical? But anyway, she's told me that there's a YouTuber who she is not a fan of, but she has seen. She's not just a vegetarian. She's not just a vegan. But she also refuses to eat grains or seeds because she considers it, and this is hearsay, so I would like to, you know, just start by saying I may not have the full picture. She considers eating seeds to be not just a pastime activity, but actually like robbing the earth of its future bounty. So then I said, well, what does she eat? And then my mom said she eats like a lot of fruits. But then I was like, can you even do that? Because like I guess you could eat fruit and then like you're eating an apple and then you could just plant the apple after you're like done eating it, or like what do you do? Can you like shake all the seeds off the outside of a strawberry and onto the ground before you eat it, or like I'm being genuinely curious. I'm just like, I don't, if you've made that like the place where you're gonna draw the line is like I'm never gonna eat a seed because I could plant that into a tree and become like another, you know, 1,000 fruits or something like that. I'm like, well, what do you actually eat? Because I think that's just it. Like you need carbon at some point. Like at some point, you gotta get some carbon. Where's the carbon coming from? Okay, 49 brimstone bombs is incredible. I'm blessed. And I hate to say, this is very judgmental. Vegetarianism makes a lot of sense to me. Depending on what you eat, it can be better for you. It can be better for the environment. It can still taste delicious. It can be cheaper. You know, there's lots of positives. Veganism, I think a lot of that is the same thing, you know? And with the added, I guess, extra benefit of not supporting the dairy industry if you find that like ethically compromised or whatever. And not judging. When you get past that, I'm like, you need a job. I'm sorry to say. I think past that is like you just need like another hobby. You just, rather than be like, oh, veganism isn't like enough for me, I also am taking it like one step beyond that. I'm like, you need to get like really into like, you know, Taskmaster or something. You just need to add one hobby to the suite of hobbies. Because you just, it's like Magic the Gathering, you know? Like, when someone gets too far into Magic the Gathering, they make themselves isolated from the other Magic the Gathering players because they make jokes about, like, they assume that you have a knowledge of cards that were printed 14 years ago just from the name of them. And then you're like, and then, like, you can't talk to them anymore. I haven't seen a loyalty trigger that good since Jace the Mind Sculptor was banned in Standard. I can't let you gotta just add one more hobby. Getting a hobby is great, but then you need like a second hobby in order to take some obsession away from the first hobby. And I'm not saying I'm innocent in that situation, you know? I talk about the Peloton a lot, but that's because you guys keep asking. And I did have a good ride today. Thank you for asking. It was a 30-minute Dennis Morton 80s ride that opened with Express Yourself by NWA. I mean, the warm-up wasn't a warm-up. I was rocking out. Plus, I have Survivor, so true, and doing the dishes. Don't forget about doing the dishes. Anyway, that's all I got. Soul of Eden. No, I'd rather have the Emperor, I think. I started washing my dishes by hand. Any tips for a newbie? Literally, like, none. It's just... The science is... Well, you know what? I'll give you one tip if you don't have them. I personally would recommend buying like dishwashing gloves and then making the water as hot as you can stand. You could do it without the gloves if you want, but the gloves are going to cost you like $2, and if it helps you crank up the water, you're going to have a superior dishwashing experience as a result. That's the only thing. That's literally it. Oh, but if you're going to buy dishwashing gloves, then do not go to the dollar store and buy dishwashing gloves. You have to buy the Le Creuset dishwashing gloves. They're imported from Italy. They give you a superior dishwashing experience. But then after, and make sure first you don't want your water to be so hot that it could scald the dirt on the dishes and thus leave them getting more baked on. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to preheat the water to somewhere between 91 and 94 degrees Celsius so that it does, you get the idea. I'm making up a guy, but not to get mad at. I'm making up a guy to make fun of. It's called the Straw Jester. I like it. You know what? 8% chance. That seems good enough to me. Let's take that. Let's put this here. Let's put it back. Let's roll it. It's garbage. Let's take it. Let's take it. Emperor card. Why did we get so many Spirit Hearts from the Emperor card? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Tarot Cloth? But like, Tarot Cloth gives you Spirit Hearts when you use the Emperor card? Oh, they changed it. It's a bug? It's new in Repentance? Excuse me, I have 1,000,001%. Don't patronize me. Donkey Donk. I forgot how this game ends. I think it's like everyone lived happily ever after or something. Slash marker. That's Isaac 2. Isaac 2?